Hi team, so it's been a while. I haven't done a video for just over a week now, so I'd like to really apologise for that. It has been so busy, it's absolutely manic at the minute, and I know you guys are feeling that as well. The work stacks are incredibly high, and I'd like to thank you for all your hard work that we're going through at the minute. So I'd like to start off the video talking around something safety. So Ben Gregg and Ant Williams were in a UG box this week, and they came across quite a substantial amount of false widow spiders. Now these false widow spiders can give you quite a nasty bite, and you can have a nasty reaction, and we've seen some things in the news recently that has identified that, and they're also talking that there's an actual boom down to the weather and things like this. So yeah, please be really aware. I have sent you an email with just some of the details. We had something in the Safe and Well issue from May, so I'll forward that onto you in the email. And there's some best practices just to keep yourself safe and avoid any kind of bites when we're working in that type of network. So please have a look at the email around that. The second thing I'd like to talk about is unfortunately, I'm absolutely gutted by this. We've lost 3 of our senior engineers due to the senior engineer reorg. So Steve Clark is moving over to the Mansfield patch, Ben Rook is moving over to the Bulwell patch, and lastly but not least, Robbie Robinson is moving over to the Long Eaton patch. Like I say, I'm absolutely gutted. These are 3 top engineers. They've done a lot for us in the past, worked really hard for us. I'd like to thank them for everything they've done and wish them all the best in their new teams. The next thing I want to talk about is a little bit of another thank you really about the overtime that has been put in recently. There are certain individuals in the team that are absolutely smashing it out, really helping us out in these busy times. I've been ringing around, I'm trying to get as many volunteers on your rostered days off, on your Saturdays, Sundays, and we're getting some uptake in that, and that's really good because whilst we've got these high demands, this is pretty much the only way we're going to get our customers in service. So if for those who have opportunity to add any more overtime, I'd be hugely grateful if you could put some in. We are authorising it quite far in advance, so it's a lot better for you all when you're trying to make plans and stuff like that. So yes, please put some more overtime in. I'll continue ringing around and with my begging bowl. The next thing I want to talk about is, we're going from a real difficult period regarding the work stack. Care levels are taking a bit of a hit, so things aren't looking great for us there. However, a real good news story that I'd like to celebrate is some of the work we're doing with repeat reports at the minute. So I have been talking about doing things right, getting it right first time, really taking quality seriously. We're trying to put that kind of principle within the team, having great conversations with customers, really trying to get good test results at the end of the job, making sure we're doing the right tests at the right time, and things are paying off for us as well. So previously we were one of the lower, worst teams for repeat reports, you could say, but we've made a huge difference recently. We're now second best, just behind being best for repeat reports over the last 4 weeks. So the things that we are doing is making a difference. Now we're not where we want to be completely, but we are making a huge difference, and I'd like to say a massive thanks for that, and we've got to continue it. We've got to hold our nerve. If you have a feeling on a job that it's going to repeat report, we shouldn't be completing it. We need to make sure that we're leaving customers with fantastic service and that we're not going to return. And that's the same for installations as well. Like, we don't want to come back on repair jobs when we've got an installation. So keep doing all the hard work that you're doing around repeat reports. I really appreciate it. Talking about performance, I have got all the data for last month's individual data. So like when I sent the email out for, I think it was July's data, I've got August data for everyone. I just need to send that out on emails. It takes a bit of time to send 50 odd emails. But what I'm doing is I'll show you what your performance is like in July and then in August, and then we'll continue doing it so we can have a look at trends. Like I say, they're only indicators, but when we're looking at the performance, it's really important that we understand what we're doing is actually making a difference and actually a really good thing. So if you're trying something different and you're seeing the fruits of your labour through your results, that's brilliant. To continue it. If things aren't going so well or going backwards, maybe we need to look at doing something different than what we're trying at the minute. So it's really important. So I'll send these out on email within the next few days, and so keep an eye out for them. Be open-minded. I know it's stats, and I know stats are quite a frustrating thing for us, but they are an indicator for us. They're an indicator of how we're delivering for our customers, and it just helps us knowing that, is my actions actually helping me deliver for my customer? And if it's not, then we can change. So, they're not necessarily a bad thing, and there's no assumptions. No one's saying, oh, you're a good engineer or a bad engineer on the back of it. But it does really help us to understand what we need to focus on and what we're doing really, really well, and sharing that kind of best practice. And when we're talking about performance, I have noticed as well around OGA testing, we seem to be having a problem as a team as a whole. We get a lot of jobs that get completed without a good OGA test. Now, it doesn't mean we haven't done one, it's just the way the system stores them. So that's for fibre repair tasks. So I think we're running around about 85% of our jobs that actually have a good OGA test on fibre repairs, which a lot of the analysis that I've done up to now is avoidable. I think there's been a lot of education from the business, from training, saying that what you need to do is you need to do a fast test afterwards. Well, actually, in reality, what that does is that wipes the OGA test clean, because it's your final test that gets stored. So we need to make sure that on fibre jobs that we're only doing obviously if we do a pair quality test, we'll do a 5-minute closeout test, and at the end we'll do an OGA test. And if there's a problem with the copper, that will get highlighted within the OGA result. So a line test okay for OGA is actually when it comes up with a statement saying OGA test completed and no fault found. That's line test okay. If it comes back and it's saying it's bridge tap, or anything else like that, the line's faulty, we can't complete it. And I know that there was a bit of confusion around, well, if I've got no access on a RFTTC1 job, surely I commit because we need access. Well, actually, that is a no access. You need to, at the last point, sync up your tester, do an OGA test, and if it comes back, OGA test completed, no fault found, you'll see that Trimetrics probably increases dramatically, and we know then that the fault is inside the house if at the start of the job you've got a bridge tap or something like that. And that goes for any kind of result you're getting. If it's not OGA test completed, no fault found, we've got a faulty line, it's most likely it's going to repeat report. It's not worth taking the risk. So real focus on that. But like I'm saying, my analysis is saying that pretty much we do get good tests, but then we wipe it out with a fast test afterwards, and that's just not needed to be done. So there's a little bit of shared learning. I'm going to continue doing analysis. I'll share best practices as we're finding them through these videos. So I'm sorry it's a long one. Like I saying, I haven't sent one out for over a week, so I'm trying to cram a load of things in. But thank you ever so much for all your hard work, and I know how much hard work it is. I know it's a bit tiring, sending out text messages saying there's an appointment failing, there's this, it's very demanding, but you guys are working so hard, and I appreciate that, and it is making a difference. So thank you very much for that. It's Friday, let's enjoy our weekends, recharge our batteries, and come back and really smash it next week as well. So thanks again, everyone.